recently I've started trying to do 100 push-ups in as little time as possible, and I've been adding this kind of thing to my workout routines again. It was something that I used to do back in like January 2023, nearly a whole year and a half ago now, when I started properly working out in the gym. And on my push days, chest days, whatever you want to call it, I would start off with like a warm-up of 100 push-ups in as little time as I possibly can. And I ended up progressively overloading this. When the first time I did it in about November of 2022, I was getting like 12 minutes, 100% in 12 minutes. Maybe my maximum amount of push-ups in a set would have been like 20. And then by the time January, February, March came along, I was getting it in like 5 minutes, maybe even just a little bit under 5 minutes. And that's pretty impressive, right? 100 push-ups in under 5 minutes. And I was quite light back then. I'm a lot heavier now, but probably a little less like cardiovascularly fit, because I've been gaining weight and bulking a little bit to try put on some mass in general, because I just felt a little bit too skinny and underweight. But 100 push-ups in under 5 minutes is still quite impressive. And I hadn't really done many push-ups since then. Like, my max amount of push-ups at that time of setting up that record probably would have been about 40. But then as the summer kind of came along and I stopped really doing that kind of stuff, and I moved more onto weightlifting, and I do the odd push-up set from time to time, but the max I was getting would be like 25, which isn't much better than what I was doing back at the start. But then I've recently started doing push-ups again and trying to do that whole 100 push-ups in as little time as possible thing again. Like the first time I did it after this whole break of doing this thing, I was expecting maybe like 8 minutes, 9 minutes, but it turns out I actually ended up getting just under 7 minutes, which was pretty impressive. And I do this 100 push-ups thing 2 times a week. Once a week it is before a workout, and once a week it is after a workout. And in the after workout one, I was getting it in 7 minutes, 10 seconds, and the before workout one, I was getting in like 6 minutes, 50 seconds, which is only 20 seconds apart, which is actually quite interesting. But then as I do it today, I'm getting 6 minutes, 10 seconds before workout, which is actually quite impressive. Like, that is only 2-ish minutes, or like 1 and a bit minutes off of what I was getting a year and a half ago. But yeah, I thought this was quite impressive. 6 minutes, 10 seconds to do 100 push-ups is not something that many people can do. And to say the least, I'm a lot heavier than I was before, and I'm definitely not as good and as used to doing push-ups. Like, my best amount of push-ups I could probably do in a set is maybe around like 35. Not as good as the 40 I was able to do before, but it's still pretty good. But I think this just proves like long-term muscle memory, and especially when that relates to things like working out and stuff. Like, many people, they stop working out and they think that now they've stopped for maybe a year because complications with life kind of got in the way. There's no point in starting again. They might as well just embrace the kind of unfitness of growing older and being busier and having less time. When you do that, then you kind of pull yourself, dig a hole for yourself essentially, and it's a hard one to get out of. But it's easier than doing that your whole life and then trying to start to work out when you're like 30, 40. That's a much harder thing to do essentially. So yeah, I highly encourage just trying to stick with working out, because you'll make so much more progress. And if you stop, you will have a little bit of a backward trend. But if you do start again, and I recommend if you have to stop a type of exercise or working out entirely for a while, then I recommend getting back into it and trying to then find the time with your sort of new schedules or your new life complications or whatever, to try find the time to get back into this kind of stuff. Because as much as you think it's going to be like, oh, I've lost my muscle mass, I might as well embrace this, it's just a part of growing old or whatever, you can still be healthy. You can still like get that muscle memory back in a way, if that makes any sense. Like, it will take you a fraction of the time to get back to where you were when it comes to the weights you were doing, when it comes to the physique you had, because your muscles have already like kind of expanded to that level. If they have to decrease because of whatever reason, life complications, it's going to be able to expand back to that level much quicker than it took you to actually build that in the first place. That's just like how biology works. It's like that's your now newfound potential. If you kind of end up letting yourself go, or something happens and you go back to things, it's like when you break a bone or something, and if you have a whole cast around your leg will get incredibly skinny, but through rehabilitation you'll end up balancing the muscles out way quicker than what it would take to grow that leg if you had like never ever worked out before in your life and it was the exact same circumference or whatever. Muscles are just pretty cool, and they're able to do that, and I just recommend working out entirely. The whole idea of progress when working out is something that really actually helped me get into it. When it comes to leveling up, is something as almost as if it's like a video game, making progress from like 12 minutes all the way down to 5 minutes, and then stopping for a while because I wanted to try some other exercises. But now I'm doing it again, and I've gone all the way from like 7 minutes down to 6 minutes just within 1 week or so. And I can imagine maybe in like a month, 2 months, I might be able to do 100 push-ups in 3 minutes, which is actually pretty good. That's like military level strength and training. I think the military thing is like 50 push-ups in 2 minutes. Maybe it's a little bit less than that, but that's like military level stuff. And you see the people in the military, they're pretty strong, right? So that's quite a good goal to aim for. And if you have any kind of goal in mind, and I find goals with working out a lot easier to kind of achieve compared to a financial goal or something, then you will be able to put the steps towards it, and it will make you a lot happier. Your mental health and it will make you happier. Your mental health will be better while you're kind of working towards that goal. But with that, I recommend subscribing for more content like this, and have a good day. It seems so green right now. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it seems really green. I think the sun has just shone through the trees, which is actually quite cool. Anyway, bye.